Hi guys! In this series of videos, I'm gonna talk about different aspects of the Mesmer profession and try to make an in-depth review concerning each of them. To be honest, I don't really know where to start since the matter to cover is huge, but I'm gonna try my best. Don't hesitate to send me a message or comment this video if you think I missed something or you would like to see a particular aspect explained. Expect in the next videos to have one talking about build and equips, key binding, understand the traits, how to work around them, etc. How to anticipate, bunch of tricks. That's it. Today's subject will be about what Mesmer can be capable of and a brief review of the overall class. Let's assume this video is a trailer. Some subject will be based on geese I found on the internet, and I try to add a bit more of information if I feel like it needs to be done or further explain, so we will see. So Mesmer is one of the most versatile class in GVG and PvP in general. As a squishy mid laner, your role is mostly to prevent enemies making actions and even make them pay for taking initiatives, like PB something. We're gonna talk mostly about the Domination Mesmer, but there exists a lot of different builds you can find or even make, like Split Illusion Mesmer, Ineptitude Mesmer, X-Way Mesmer, etc. By the way, everything will be explained further in the next videos. Do I need to have good reflexes ping in order to be good Dom Mesmer? So good reflexes and ping are certainly a plus, but that's not the most important part of the class. As long as you are able to read the game properly, you could even play without any rubs and still be relevant. Look at those old team builds, they don't even play with rubs. In my opinion, target selection, positioning and awareness are the keys to become a good Mesmer. But still, being able to rub 3/4 second cast time skills is needed, but everyone can do it as long as you know that the next skill the enemy is gonna use is a skill you want to rub. For example, I have some huge problems watching a monk, seeing a word of feeling is used, remark that this is on fast cast or not, and decide if I ripped it or not. I can do that, it's way too fast for me. But I can do it for any 1 second cast time spell, so I have no excuses to miss my PB if the enemy does not cancel. What will be your role as a team player? As I said, Mesmer is one of the most versatile roles in PvP. It means that he can play both defensively or aggressively depending on the situation. If your team takes too much pressure, try to play on the damage dealer. If the enemy team is close to wipeout, try to close the game by destroying tie healers. That's it. So it's a lot about communication. Communication with your backline, etc. Mesmer is a pure team player, and he works more like a multiplication to the team potential than an addition, not like Elementalists, for example. What do I mean? Well, Elementalists in general add a flat DPS to the battlefield, allowing their teammate to deal more damage. Their team to deal more damage. Let's imagine you are playing a PB Mesmer and your team is doing nothing. Well, you won't be able to rip anything with PB since no skills are used, because the enemy team doesn't have any pressure. If now your team is doing a great job of putting pressure on the enemy team, it means that more skills are gonna be used and you will have more opportunities to take one, adding even more pressure, etc. Same goes for diversion. If you don't have to use a skill to keep your team up in health, you don't have to use any skill and diversion is no longer a threat. Mesmer creates a snowball effect about the effectiveness of a team. Understand the threats and how to work around them. In order to be a good Mesmer and support your team well, you need to understand how every profession works and how to react to it. For example, Apply Poison Ranger is one of the key skills of a team comp. At first you could think, yeah, but as long as I disable an offensive skill in the enemy team, I just play defensive. And you would be wrong. No apply equals way less pressure on your team. It will allow your monk to have more energy because they don't have to waste everything to put the health bar up, and then they will be able to remove the condition exist from a warrior or dervishes, allowing them to deal more damages. So, sometimes, and even most of the time, playing defensively allows you to put more pressure. How to counter a build? Well, if a build is reliable on only one skill, then you can make the player have a hard time. Take this one. You don't even need to use PB on this guy. If you only use P-Lock on Mind Blast, if you use P-Lock by the way, on your build, and remove the attunement, the elementalist will be either out of energy real soon, or will deal way less damage because he won't be able to spam. It's important to get the key skills, usually it's the elite, but not each time, on the build, and try to work around it. Prevent the enemies to use those key skills can be really efficient. There will be another topic, a whole video, about target selection and anticipation. Anticipation allows you to know who to watch before the guy even uses skill. One of the biggest problems you can encounter is when you are watching a target, he doesn't use a single thing, then you switch to another one, and the first target uses something. It can easily be very frustrating, so we will try to understand how to avoid that. For example, if a target's health is under 50% HP, the healer monk will probably try to use Word of Healing. It means that it's time to watch him. But you have to know that before you used it. As I said earlier in this video, apply poison is a big threat. Let's say you missed the first one or didn't pay attention to it. As long as you have seen when the ranger used it, you can now wait 24 seconds before watching the ranger again, because the ranger doesn't have any other key skill except his apply poison, sometimes creep shot, but not most of the time. Always keep in mind the cooldown of each skill, this way you will know when it's most likely to be used. We're gonna talk about key binding too, the best ways to find a target and to get better awareness of the game possible. Vision control is super important factor and works really well with target selection. So first learn target selection. It allows you to rest control easily, for example, which sometimes costs you the game if you don't do it properly. A whole video will be dedicated to builds and particular skill, when and how to play them, and play around your team with them. So Blackout plus PB Mesmer, Double Waster plus PI, Glyph or even Glyph of Renewal Mesmer, and a lot of other builds, but we will see that later. Don't hesitate to send me yours in private message, your build, or in the comments if you want. One video will be about macro gameplay and positioning. I will probably need some help there, because for this one I don't know a lot. So we will see. I'm gonna ask some friends if they can help me. And we are probably gonna try to review some GVGs and some situations and check out why or when it went wrong or well. And we will try to see what was the biggest factor the Mesmer had in those games. And because I really enjoy some mind tricks you can do, one video will be 100% dedicated to special tricks. Most of them will be high risk, high reward. Usually it works like this, but they're really funny to do, and I think it's a good thing to think about it, because in some desperate situation you can sometimes use them and make things went better because of that. Okay, so thanks for watching. It's the first video. The next one I'm gonna try to do it as soon as possible. I don't even know when. Yep, so that's it. See ya, guys.